I need to stop fidgeting.
Whatever.
It's been a while since I've been in front of camera.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Nocturnal Grimoire. I'm Lynx, and I'll be talking to you about the dark, gothic, and nocturnal energies within magic and witchcraft. Today I actually have a guest, KWliso. He's actually a really good friend of mine. He actually has a YouTube page. I will link everything below for you to check out him. He needs to really start making more videos, so you have to go and bug him when you get to it.
The more comments, the better.
Today's topic, we're actually going to be talking about the Winter Solstice, or Yule, or what other names are there?
Yule tide, long winter night, midwinter.
Basically December 21st.
Most commonly found that day.
Yes. So it's what we're actually celebrating today. It's actually one of the funnest little days for, well, us Darklings. Because the fact that it is the longest night of the year. Shortest day of the year, longest night of the year. So there's going to be a lot of
people making noise.
So it's going to get dark really soon, and it's going to be dark for a very long time. This is also the time of year where we have the goddess giving birth to the god. So that would be like, what exactly?
So the Winter Solstice marks the return of the god.
Yeah.
That's why the light of the day gets longer. And why she goes to bed rest, for she has just given birth.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the nights get shorter again and the days grow longer. And then upon the rest of the Sabbaths throughout the year, it's marking his growth through time.
Yes.
So like in Imbolc, he's like a toddler. Ostara, he's in his adolescence and he's all pubescent. Mm-hmm. By Beltane, he's all, I want to make babies. But upon Litha, he marries the goddess again, and then thus starts his decline back into death.
So, basically from all of that, it's literally the transition between death and rebirth. So, that's kind of the big purpose of today, is literally showing that there is life after death in a sense of rebirth. This can be taken all different types of ways in that kind of category. Some people believe in the idea of reincarnation being you come back as something that literally is based off of your karma. Others believe the idea that you come back as a new person, or you're basically reborn as a new baby. Some people believe that you can be a cat or an animal or whatever. Ideally, it's you're transitioning from one world to another, and you're regrowing. You're still growing, and all of this is coming into play on how you become more ascended and more connected to the gods and goddesses or the universe itself. What else?
So the tradition of setting up the tree is not a Christian tradition. The Christians adopted that back in 273 BC, and it was an idea, it was a way to kind of start to snuff out and fade out paganism so that Christianity can better warm up the world. So they figured that if Christianity borrowed some of their concepts, the transition wouldn't be so difficult. Mm-hmm. We'll include some of your traditions into our new faith, and we'll kind of grow and build on this idea going forward. So that was kind of the biggest piece as to why the tradition of the tree was kept and the gifts was kept. A lot of the times the gifts would be wines or cheeses, things that can be kept throughout the winter to families who don't have them. It was more of an opportunity to give them something they needed.
Because as I mentioned within the Samhain episode, I actually, during this time, it's really hard to, back then, with winter, and keeping food and having all that. And that's why Samhain was the last harvest of the year. This is kind of more sharing the bounty of your harvest, and that's the reason why a lot of people give gifts this time of year, is because of the fact that you're giving offerings to other people to help them and make them continue to like
be prosperous through the winter.
Yes.
It was mostly a big community thing. It wouldn't be like just family to family. It would be the whole family gathers in this big hall. It's very Norse in that kind of aspect. And they'd all kind of share a little bit of what they had stored away to get them through the winter. This would be the one of two feasts. A lot of times they would just kind of stay abstent from eating like a lot of food all at one time. This one and Imbolc are the only two feasts in winter that are actual like big. Everything else is very like, I had some soup for dinner, that's the end.
So some of the things that you can actually do within Yule that are kind of to celebrate it, if by chance you are unable to right away, or you feel too busy to get around to it, is lighting a candle in the idea of the god, or basically the male aspect or male energy coming back to life. You could also light a candle too for the goddess and her rest, and your blessings towards the female energy going into sleep. A few other little things are just basically taking the time to just take a few minutes and just basically give your blessings to the world around you, for the fact that the light is coming back, as well as the darkness being a big part of the night for today. Big things are like doing major celebrations like the Yule log. I've never done that yet. I plan on it like at least hopefully next year.
Before we die.
Yes. I just both of us haven't really haven't had time
to create the Yule log,
which is difficult.
It's difficult if you, if you don't have the tools, it's hard. You basically take a sturdy limb and you cut off the two ends, you dress it with poinsettia flowers, and you drill 5 holes at the top of the log, and you put a candle in each of the holes, and each color represents kind of something you're wishing to bring into the world around you. So the first candle is usually green, so you're looking for money, you're looking for wealth, abundance, just general prosperity. You want to kind of conjure it into your area, whether that's like in your city, whether that's in your like your county, or even your whole state, even further the country. And then the next candle is red. You want more love.
And it can be a little bit more personal too.
Yeah. Usually the next candle is red, and it's usually centered around love or some kind of like, even if it, or you can light it for loved ones at that point. The following one is blue. Blue is talking about, usually there's a lot of emotional stress.
Yeah.
That comes with the holidays of like you're seeing family members you don't always see.
Oh yeah.
Or you're interacting with people that make you incredibly uncomfortable. It's kind of for you to just kind of like let all of that stuff go, let it go down the river and ignore it. Some people use it for better dreams for their future. What are they going to expect in the next year? It's kind of just a watery piece to it. The following candle after that is white. You're asking for kind of like a veil of innocence, or of like washing away the lies, getting rid of the past, stepping forward in a better, stronger you. And then the last one is the black one, which is for all forms of vanishing. I want to get rid of debt. I want to get rid of family pain. I want to get rid of this nasty coworker who bugs me. I want to get rid of anything. And you usually
just say goodbye.
Yeah, you usually just carve your.
So
basically, when you carve into the candle your intention, the night before, you let you stay up all night with your Yule log, and you watch it burn, and you think about everything you wanted, and then you kind of like take that log at the very end of it, and at just before the sun starts to set on Yule Day, you bury the Yule log, so that the earth takes your intentions and
it goes bye-bye.
It goes all away.
It goes back to the earth. Well, I'm actually out of memory, so I'm gonna have to say goodbye. That's as much as I have. Merry meet and merry part and merry meet again, my friends.